Well, it's been a while since I made a decent antique small engine repair video, so I figured this Briggs FH that I picked up at the auction with Road King would be a good subject. You saw in his video we already got his running, but I haven't really touched mine except for today. I've already started tearing it down a little bit. I got the kick pedal off, the intake tube, things like that. I'm going to pop the shroud off now. I already have the screws off, and go ahead and pull the flywheel. It's got good spark. The only thing I notice right off the bat that's kind of troubling is you can see the ratchet mechanism here. Let me get you a better shot of it. I guess you can see that. The locating pin is not in its hole, and I don't know if that was an accident on somebody's part or what, but it kind of boogered the flywheel up a little bit, and it boogered up the locating pin that I can see. See that there's a gap right there? If you rotate it, there shouldn't be any gap. It should be flush. But yeah, pop the shower off, and it's got it's got great spark. I was pretty impressed with that. Give you a shot of that. Now I don't know if it was running recently. I don't think it was, because the carburetor and the fuel tank are pretty dirty, rusty like. But you should be able to see this. Got good spark. The flywheel's not rubbing, which is good. But yeah, just gonna go ahead and tear everything down. Pull the head off. Have a look at the valves. Have a look at the cylinder, and see what we can do with it. Alright, well, I pulled the ratchet mechanism off and loosen the flywheel from the shaft so it's ready to pop off. Let me give you a shot of what the problem is so far with the ratchet gear. You see this locating pin right here has been knocked over. Let's see. I'm not sure how that splits, but you can obviously see where it should be straight and where the metal's been bent. So that's going to have to be corrected. And you can see in the flywheel here, zoom in there, the hole for that locating pin is all oblong and just not good. Now, that's the first problem. Now the second problem, which is, I'm told is pretty common now, this is my first FH, but a good friend of mine who's in the antique Briggs, a little bit more than I am. He's had a few of these F-Series in the past. His name's Terry. He mentioned that these have a real common problem with the pot metal flywheel separating from the steel hub. And you can see right now, I'll show you, it's separated. I'll move the flywheel. Let's see if I can hold the crank. And right there. I'm moving the flywheel, but the hub's not turning. And you can see this rim around here with a little crack where the dirt's built up, where it has separated. So we'll have to fix that, because you try and run it like that, you'll end up cracking the hub or splitting the flywheel or something. So I'll pop that flywheel off. Let's see. Yeah, right around here. Yeah, we'll have to fix that. Everything underneath the flywheel's in good shape, though. Little dirty, but not not oily. It's got good spark, so that's a good sign. It means the only thing I'll have to do is clean it up. The coil's in great shape. Yeah, somebody's been in here before. It's wire nut. I don't believe that's the original wire either. Nah. That's alright. It's got good spark. And the other thing, I've heard there's a big controversy of whether these engines had steel or aluminum keys or pot metal keys or whatever. That's definitely an alloy key, aluminum or something, not steel. Okay, well, I've now got the governor assembly pulled off and the carburetor pulled off. The governor's very, very simple on these engines. Just a couple of stamped steel levers. Very simple. Carburetor looks alright, not cracked or anything. Looks like somebody punched out my strainer screen there. That's alright. We can solder a new one in there. Throttle shaft is has a bit of wear in it. We'll see how it runs. Might not have to replace that. And I think next step is to pull the head. Alright, I had to pull the muffler to get one of the head screws off. It's in really nice original shape, muffler. It's got a lot of pitting on it, but it's not rusted through anywhere. It seems pretty solid yet. Let's pop this off. Look at the head. Yeah. Intake valve and the valve seat look alright. Exhaust valve the same. Well, it's a little bit pitted. A little bit of rust pitting. Can clean that up, no problem. Alright, let's take a look down the cylinder. I've already put some oil down here when I first got it, just to see if compression would improve a little bit. It did, but just figured I'd pull the head just for an inspection. Spin it around here. Cylinder walls look good so far. Yeah. No pitting, no scoring, just there's a little bit of pitting right there. Put the piston all the way down. Yeah, just a little bit of staining right there. Nothing really. Pretty good. Any slop in the piston? Yeah, only a tiny bit. Nothing really. Geez, the hit and miss Briggs has more slop than this. That's good. Let's see. Alright, well, I don't think I'm gonna pull the piston rod. The bore looks alright. I doubt that they're stuck, the rings, but I think we'll just leave that alone. But I'm gonna pull the block off of the base so I can clean that out. I popped the flywheel back on. I'm gonna put my hand over the top of the cylinder there and just spin the engine over and see what kind of compression I can, kind of compression it actually has. Just to see if the piston does need to be pulled, if the rings are stuck, or to see if maybe all my compression was leaking past the valves. But so let's see. Of course, it's gonna blow right by my hand, but on the upstroke. But we'll see what kind of vacuum it can pull. Pretty good. I'll pull it all the way. The piston's at top dead center. What I'll do is I'll pull it all the way down to bottom dead center, and I'll see how long it'll hold the vacuum. Right there, it's just holding it. It's not even leaking down yet. So I'm pretty convinced that the rings are in good shape. In fact, so we'll leave that alone. All right, well, I got the case off the base, and just looking it over, everything looks in order. The oil it looks almost new. Well, it does look new. Somebody cleaned this engine up and must not have put very many hours on it. The oil pump seems to be working. So I've never seen a design like that before. It's again, it's really simple, but it works. Not a lot of moving parts, but it brings oil up to the trough for the connecting rod. Really interesting. Really simple, but really interesting. Pretty good design. The inside of the case looks alright. Pretty clean. A little sludgy here and there. You can see some on the lever for the oil pump arm. A little bit on the gears and the shaft, but really nothing to be at all concerned about. Bearings, they've got wear in them, but they're not bad at all. Not even going to worry about them. Maybe I'll just rinse the case here out with some kerosene or something and oil it up. Should be alright. Now I'm going to dump this oil out of here and pop this pan off and see what the fuel tank looks like. And the fuel tank, at first glance, doesn't look that bad, but if you scrape it, you see everything you get out of there. Pretty yucky stuff. So I'll have to rinse that out and wire brush it and clean it up a little bit. But I'll do that and start reassembling it. Just start rinsing stuff out, clean the stuff off. The last thing I'll have to do is fix this flywheel. That's the biggest problem. But I already have a plan for that. So, not a bad engine.